Welcome back to Design Smith. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do this really cool layered type effect here using opacity in Illustrator. Before we get started, please subscribe to support the channel. Alright, so I found this poster on Pinterest, and I always thought that this was a really cool effect right here, and it's actually pretty simple to do. So I'm going to move this over here really quickly. And I'm going to show you what I think is the most efficient way to do this. If you can think of a more efficient way to do it, then definitely let me know what it is down in the comments. And I am going to use the number 13 right here because this is going to be a Smashing Pumpkins poster. And they have officially released 13 studio albums. I know they've released a lot more music than that, but I'm just going to focus on the 13 albums here. Okay, so what I recommend doing is typing out 13 probably a few different ways. I'm just going to adjust the kerning right here. So I'm going to do several instances of the number 13, and then we're going to bring it all together at the same time. So I'm going to do the rest of these and just kind of play around with some fonts. All right, I decided to do 13 instances of 13. It might be a little bit overkill, but it's all right. So I'm going to go in here and just kind of fix some of this kerning a little bit. All right, overall, this is looking really nice. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to select all of these right here and just kind of put them on the same plane really quick, and then do the same thing with the bottom row. And even though technically they're all the same point size, we need to get the overall size down for each one of them to be around the same. So I'm going to select this bottom row right here. And now we're going to select everything and create outlines. And we'll do the same thing over here. So I am just going to kind of bring this in just a little bit, just to get it a little bit closer to the rest of the numbers, because this font is very chunky. All right, now what I'm going to do is go through these numbers and assign random opacity levels. All right, so these are all at different random levels of opacity. So what we're going to do now is make sure that we click on this artboard, and now I'm going to select everything that is over here on this side, and we're going to make sure that Align to Artboard is selected, and now we're going to go up here to Align Horizontal Center and Align Vertical Center. So now everything is kind of overlapped with each other here. And now what I'm going to do is select everything, and we're just going to bring the height up, and we'll bring it up to probably around here. And now we'll select everything and go over here and choose a color. So obviously we need to do some refinement here. So I'm going to go into Outline View and then just do some refining on this until it's very obvious that it's a 13. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this big chunky one right here because it's extending past the artboard and I just want to get rid of it. It'll just make everything a lot easier to work with. And then you can go through and just kind of refine these individually a little bit if you want. Or what if we did this instead? Let's select everything and give it the same level of opacity. That actually does help it out, and it gives it a little bit more visual interest. And now we can select just one of them and then raise the opacity up to about 60%. And now that I've actually done that, I think it's more effective to do it that way. And it could definitely stand to be a little bit darker, and we may even change the color and see what happens there. Okay, I think that's bringing a little bit too much emphasis on it, so what happens if we send it to the back? Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I like how it almost has this glow effect to it. Okay, so I'm happy with this, and now what I'm going to do is draw a rectangle over everything. Make sure the sizing is correct. I'm just going to move this over here temporarily, and let's select everything right here and group it together. And now we'll move this block back to our artboard, and now we'll select everything and hit Command 7 on our keyboard, and that's going to mask everything inside of our artboard. And then I think I'll put the Smashing Pumpkins in a nice serif font going right up here vertically. I'm definitely feeling like a Garamond here, so we'll go with one of those. I just think that it helps balance it out really well. All right, let's go in here and fix the kerning on this. Okay, I think that's really interesting kerning going on there. We've got some areas where the type is touching each other where it's not really meant to do that, but overall it looks really nice. All right, so I'm gonna create outlines now that I've got the type exactly as I want it, and I'm just gonna kind of experiment with placement here. I think that it's totally fine to overlap these areas right here. We don't have to just keep it inside of the white area, but I do want to play around with it and see what happens if we do that. Okay, so let's kind of compare this right here. The typefaces in this poster is very, very small. And the Smashing Pumpkins type here, it's got a couple of things working against it. One, it's a serif type, so obviously it makes it a little bit harder to read. It's lowercase and in italic, which also makes it harder, and it's also vertical. So those three things really work against this. So I think that we'll turn this horizontally, and we can just overlap it maybe somewhere down here. And let's make our margins precise right here. I think that's nice, but we need to bring it in a little bit more. And I think that horizontally, it can stay right there. We just need to bring it up 1 inch. Okay, that is looking much better. And let's also do a second option right here where we flip the white and the black. It might give it a little bit too much of a Halloween vibe, but I think it's okay. Okay, yeah, both of those are very nice. So the black and the orange with the number 13 and the word pumpkins in here definitely makes it look like a Halloween poster. But it's totally fine. It's not like this is official merchandise or anything. And I think it ended up looking really cool. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please like and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.